she want me to keep it, and I'm in the mindset I gotta get rid of this baby. That's when I be like, I don't know, like drunk people. I don't like when people touch my stomach. You like, I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. Wendy, you do not look better than me. Anna, you do not look better than me.
The internet was set ablaze when Chrisean Rock and Tia Kemp clashed in what has since become one of the most talked about online feuds in recent memory. What started as a fiery verbal exchange between two strong-willed women quickly spiraled into something far more serious, a public reckoning that exposed raw truths about parenting, accountability, and the consequences of living life in the spotlight. At the center of it all was Chrisean's son, Junior, whose well-being became a point of contention after Tia made a shocking accusation during a live stream that Junior might have special needs and wasn't getting the attention he desperately needed because Chrisean was too busy chasing Blueface and fueling internet beefs. That statement alone sent shockwaves through their online communities, sparking debate, speculation, and even calls for intervention from Child Protective Services. But what exactly led to this moment? And why did Tia feel compelled to speak out on such a sensitive topic? The tension between Chrisean Rock and Tia Kemp didn't come out of nowhere. It had been brewing for weeks, if not months, fueled by Chrisean's relentless attempts to re-enter Blueface's life, both personally and financially, while also trying to maintain some semblance of stability for herself and her son. Meanwhile, Tia had long positioned herself as a voice of reason in Blueface's world, often offering unsolicited advice or stepping in when she felt someone close to him was acting irresponsibly. So when Chrisean publicly called out Blueface's mother, Carissa, for accusing her of being homeless and using Blueface for financial support, Tia saw an opportunity to weigh in. She wasn't here for Chrisean's antics, nor was she impressed by how little time Chrisean seemed to spend actually tending to Junior's needs. What really set Tia off was seeing footage of Chrisean leaving Junior in the car for extended periods while she argued with Blueface on the phone. This wasn't just careless, it bordered on neglectful in Tia's eyes. And then there was the matter of Junior's development or lack thereof. Multiple people who followed Chrisean's social media noticed that Junior wasn't walking yet, despite being nearly 2 years old. Some speculated that Chrisean's lifestyle filled with constant drama, substance use during pregnancy, and unstable living conditions might have played a role in his delayed milestones. Tia didn't hold back when she finally addressed it directly during one of Chrisean's live streams. "You need to stop running around trying to get clout and start focusing on your baby," she said bluntly. "That child needs help and you're too caught up in your mess with Blueface to see it." Chrisean naturally didn't take kindly to Tia's comments. She fired back with venom, bringing up Tia's own son's past legal troubles and implying that Tia had no right to lecture anyone about parenting. "You're sitting here talking about my kid when yours got stabbed for running the streets like a gangster?" Chrisean snapped. The line landed hard, and for a moment it looked like Tia might back down, but she didn't. Instead, she leaned into the confrontation, doubling down on her concerns about Junior's well-being and even suggesting that CPS should be involved. "If I were his relative, I'd be taking him to the pediatrician every week," she declared. "But y'all don't care about that. Y'all just want to keep fighting over clout and money." The fallout was immediate. Fans took sides, memes flooded timelines, and speculation ran rampant about whether or not Tia would actually follow through on her threat to contact CPS. Some praised her for speaking truth to power, while others accused her of overstepping and playing armchair psychologist. Meanwhile, Chrisean continued to deflect, insisting that Junior was fine and that she was doing everything she could as a single mother, navigating a complicated relationship with Blueface. But the damage was done. Questions about Junior's health and development were now front and center, and Chrisean couldn't easily brush them aside. As the saga unfolded, more details emerged about Chrisean's rocky history with Blueface. Audio clips surfaced of Blueface calling Chrisean out from jail, accusing her of fabricating stories about him abusing her during pregnancy and trashing his house when she moved out. He claimed he had let her stay rent-free because she was homeless and needed a place to crash, only for her to turn around and smear his name online. Chrisean, of course, denied these allegations, insisting that Blueface had been emotionally abusive and that she had left his house in good condition. Her friend even posted a photo claiming to show that Blueface's video of the supposedly destroyed home was old footage. But again, independent observers pointed out that the background in the video matched recent Twitch streams Chrisean had done, suggesting that the mess was in fact real. Throughout all of this, Junior remained at the heart of the controversy. Whether intentionally or not, Chrisean had painted herself into a corner where defending her actions meant potentially exposing flaws in her parenting. Every time she tried to shift blame onto Blueface or justify her behavior by citing their shared history, critics seized on it as further evidence that she wasn't prioritizing her son's needs. And Tia, ever the provocateur, kept pushing those buttons relentlessly. "You can't keep blaming Blueface for your failures," she told Chrisean during one particularly heated exchange. "You need to take responsibility for your choices and start making better ones, especially for that baby." By the time the dust began to settle, it was clear that neither woman had won the battle outright. Chrisean still had her supporters, many of whom rallied behind her as a single mother trying to navigate a difficult situation. Tia, meanwhile, earned praise from those who believed she had done the right thing by speaking up about Junior's potential developmental issues. But the broader implications of their feud lingered. Had Tia gone too far by suggesting CPS involvement? Was Chrisean truly unfit to parent? Or was she simply struggling under immense pressure? And most importantly, what did all of this mean for Junior, who had become an unwitting participant in a very public spectacle? Ultimately, the clash between Chrisean Rock and Tia Kemp serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of letting personal drama overshadow parental responsibilities. Both women brought valid points to the table, but neither emerged unscathed from the conflict. In the end, the only real winner should have been Junior. But given how deeply entrenched both sides are in their respective narratives, it remains to be seen whether either will take meaningful steps toward ensuring his well-being moving forward. One thing is certain, though, this story isn't over yet. As the fallout continues, many are left wondering what comes next. Will Chrisean seek professional evaluations for Junior, or will she continue to dismiss concerns about his development? Will Tia face any consequences for publicly questioning Chrisean's parenting abilities without concrete evidence? And perhaps most pressing of all, what kind of long-term impact will this entire ordeal have on Junior himself? For now, fans and critics alike remain glued to their screens, waiting to see how this high-stakes drama plays out. Whether through court battles, custody disputes, or more viral confrontations, one thing is clear: Chrisean Rock and Tia Kemp have ignited a firestorm that shows no signs of dying down anytime soon. This latest chapter in Chrisean Rock and Tia Kemp's ongoing feud has taken on a life of its own, drawing in fans, critics, and even medical professionals who have weighed in on social media about Junior's well-being. While some argue that Tia went too far by making such public accusations without concrete evidence, others believe she did the right thing by speaking up when she saw red flags. Meanwhile, Chrisean has maintained her stance that she is doing everything she can as a single mother, navigating a complex relationship with Blueface. However, the sheer volume of scrutiny surrounding Junior's development has made it increasingly difficult for her to ignore the growing concerns. One of the biggest issues raised by viewers is the apparent delay in Junior's motor skills. By nearly 2 years old, most children have already begun walking independently, yet multiple videos of Junior show him struggling to stand or move on his own. Some experts have suggested that this could be a sign of developmental delays, which may require early intervention services to address. Others have pointed to Chrisean's admitted substance use during pregnancy as a potential contributing factor, though it's important to note that correlation does not equal causation. Regardless of the underlying causes, the fact remains that Junior's developmental progress has become a major talking point among online observers. Tia, for her part, has stood by her initial assessment, arguing that it's better to raise concerns early rather than wait for problems to escalate. She has emphasized that she doesn't claim to be a medical expert, but rather a concerned observer who believes Chrisean is failing to prioritize her son's needs. "I'm not saying she's a bad mom," Tia clarified during one of her live streams. "I'm just saying she needs to step back and make sure that child is getting the help he needs before it's too late." Many of her followers have echoed this sentiment, urging Chrisean to take Junior to a pediatrician for a formal evaluation. On the other hand, Chrisean supporters have pushed back against what they see as unwarranted criticism. They argue that Tia has no right to judge Chrisean's parenting based solely on what she sees online, pointing out that everyone's circumstances are different. "People don't know what she's going through," one commenter wrote on Instagram. "They shouldn't be quick to jump to conclusions about her son just because he hasn't walked yet." Others have suggested that Chrisean may be dealing with financial constraints that prevent her from seeking professional help, though she has repeatedly denied claims that she is broke or dependent on Blueface for support. Despite the ongoing debate, one thing is clear: Junior's well-being has become a focal point in a much larger conversation about parenting in the digital age. With so many aspects of family life now played out in public view, parents like Chrisean are under increasing pressure to meet expectations set by strangers who have never met them in person. This phenomenon raises important questions about privacy, accountability, and the role of social media influencers in shaping perceptions of parenthood. In response to the mounting scrutiny, Chrisean has attempted to shift the narrative back to her personal struggles with Blueface. She has accused him of emotional abuse and claimed that he once threatened to harm her while she was pregnant with Junior. He used to hit me and kick me in the stomach so he could unalive Junior while he was still in my belly, she alleged during one of her live streams. These accusations have further fueled the ongoing drama, prompting Blueface's supporters to rally behind him and defend his character. Meanwhile, Blueface himself has remained relatively quiet throughout the chaos, save for a few cryptic posts on social media. However, an audio clip recently surfaced in which he appears to call out Chrisean from jail, accusing her of fabricating stories about him and trashing his house when she moved out. "She left my house looking like a war zone," he reportedly said. "I gave her a place to stay because she was homeless, and this is how she repays me." His words have added yet another layer of complexity to an already tangled web of accusations and counter-accusations. As tensions continue to rise, both Chrisean and Tia have doubled down on their respective positions, refusing to back down despite the growing backlash. Chrisean has accused Tia of projecting her own parenting failures onto her, referencing Tia's son's past legal troubles as evidence that she isn't in a position to offer parenting advice. "You're sitting here talking about my baby when yours got stabbed for running the streets like a gangster," Chrisean snapped during one particularly heated exchange. Tia, however, has dismissed these remarks as deflection tactics designed to divert attention from Junior's needs.